Welcome to a new episode of the Optimize Yourself podcast. Today we have a very special guest. Her name is Janine. Janine, please introduce yourself.
Hello, everyone. My name is Janine, and I am currently a third-year pharmacy student at the University of Waterloo.
Amazing. So let's start from the very beginning. What inspired you to pursue a career in pharmacy?
Yeah, so when I was in, I think it was about grade 11, I was trying to figure out what I wanted to do after high school, what kind of career path I wanted to take. And one of the things I was considering was pharmacy. I knew I probably wanted to do something science related. Liked science, I liked math. So I was looking into healthcare, and I decided to start volunteering at my community pharmacy in Burlington. And when I was there, that definitely confirmed to me that I wanted to do pharmacy. I was fortunate enough to work with some really, really impactful pharmacists that showed me just how much pharmacists can impact patients' lives. And it was overall just a really great experience. So I applied to the CAP program at Waterloo and I got accepted. So I did my 2 years of honors science there and then applied and got accepted into the PharmD program.
So when you entered the PharmD program, what were some concepts which you were exposed to in your first and second years, which made you visualize how you can make an impact in the field of pharmacy?
Yeah, so definitely I think my favorite course like to date still was Pharm 120 that you take in your 1A term, and basically in that course every week it's like a seminar type style course. So every week there was a different guest speaker that would come in, and they were all pharmacists who were doing something different in the field of pharmacy. And I really loved that course, and it was pretty impactful for me because going into pharmacy, I knew it was a diverse-ish profession, but in my mind, it was still really only community and hospital pharmacy. So hearing that, I got to see a ton of pharmacists that worked in a lot of different areas, and it really opened my mind to just how diverse the profession is and how you can uh, improve patient lives and health in so many different capacities as a pharmacist. So that really inspired me to kind of look outside more the traditional rules than I had thought pharmacists did. And yeah, I would say that's probably the most impactful of kind of showing me the possibilities that there are out there for pharmacists.
Awesome. And yeah, let's go over the co-op experiences you had, especially since URL School of Pharmacy is very famous for that program. Yeah, so let's start with that.
Yeah, for sure. So, my first co-op was last winter, actually, a year ago today. It feels like not that long ago, but it was at St. Joseph's Hospital in Hamilton. And it was a bit of a mixed role where I was doing medication history in the emergency room. And then most of my time was spent working on projects and policy review because the hospitals have to become accredited every 4 years. So they were due for their accreditation. Um, it was just happened this past fall. So I was there a couple months to less than a year before they had their accreditation. So I was doing a lot of policy work for them, doing some audits. I got exposure to a lot of really diverse projects. I got to write a medical draft for pharmacists to order labs. So going into it after my first year of pharmacy school, I was like, oh, I 100% want to do hospital as a pharmacist. I thought I wanted to do something really patient facing, super clinical, and having exposure to those type of policy project work, I really noticed how you can impact patients' lives at a more macro level. And I enjoyed the strategic longer term thinking that went into that. So that was my first co-op, and that kind of got me thinking maybe I wanted to do something more like that type of project work. But for my second co-op, I still really wanted to have a strong foundational pharmacy base. And the best place I think to do that is community pharmacy, especially with pharmacists expanding scope right now. I hadn't been exposed to that since that was before like my high school experience in community pharmacy. So I did it at an independent pharmacy in Burlington, and it's a pretty small pharmacy, but lots of patients, very, very busy. So that was also a great learning opportunity because I got to see frontline community aspect. I got to see minor ailment prescribing. It was flu season and COVID booster season. So I got to see all those vaccinations that happened. And then we just matched, like, did our whole co op rankings this past week. So My next co-op in the summer is going to be at Shoppers Drug Mart at their corporate office doing pharmacy, like pharmacist prescribing pathways, pharmacy practice tools, and helping with different launch campaigns and projects that they're working on. So I'm very excited about that.
Oh, that's amazing. Good for you. So like reflecting back on all those co-op experiences and like your pharmacy experience before entering pharmacy school, which field of pharmacy do you think inspires you the most?
Ooh, that's a good question. Um, I mean, I think the pharmacists I have seen in every area of practice have such a unique and important role in healthcare. Like, I have a lot of respect for community pharmacists. It's often really chaotic environments they're working in. But even when I was in hospital and I got a shadow, like the ICU pharmacists, they're dealing with pretty complex clinical situations and the stakes are usually pretty high. So, that also inspired me a lot because they have a tremendous impact on patient care there. But yeah, I don't know. I think all pharmacists in their areas inspire me in their own way.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, so since pharmacy school can get overwhelming sometimes, how do you practice self-care in pharmacy school?
Yeah, for sure. It's definitely a super important thing and something I didn't take super seriously during like my first couple of terms, but I feel like at this point I figured it out more. So, for me, getting sleep before exams is super important. Don't pull all-nighters. So making sure I'm getting good sleep. I've tried to exercise as much as I can, going to the gym. And I think one of my favorite things about pharmacy school and the PharmD program at Waterloo is just how small your cohort becomes over the years and having that type of support system of everyone that's going through like the same things. If you have a stressful exam, so does everyone else in your class. So even in those tougher times, you have people to kind of lean on that are going through the same things. So kind of reaching out to your network and still making time for your friends and family and life outside of pharmacy school to kind of broaden your perspective and remind you there's more to life than pharmacy school.
Amazing. And what student clubs are you involved with, like either in the past or currently in pharmacy school? And what extracurriculars do you have? Like, are you part of any intramural teams?
Yeah. So in my first 2 years of undergrad at Waterloo, especially my second year when school was online for me, I was in like a lot of clubs. Any club that was recruiting, I would be like, sure, I'll do this, which was great for especially when it was online. It gave me a good sense of community and kind of just broke up sitting alone with my computer all day. So that was good for the time. But going into pharmacy school, I told myself I wanted to be a lot more selective with the extracurriculars I chose and make sure they were things I was passionate about and would enjoy rather than just joining something for the sake of joining something. So, with that in mind, I currently I'm a pharmacy ambassador, which I really, really enjoy. It was something I remember touring the school and doing all those intro events before I was in pharmacy school and seeing the pharmacy ambassadors. So I was like, oh, if I get into pharmacy school, I want to be one of those people and to be an ambassador. So currently a pharmacy ambassador. I just finished up being an orientation leader, which was super fun as well. And what else? Oh, I'm completing the student leadership program at Waterloo. I've started that in my undergrad, so I'm still working towards it now. I volunteer weekly with the at the Kitchener-Waterloo Multicultural Center in their conversational English program, which has been a really cool learning and just overall really great experience. So that's pretty much it.
Oh, amazing. So yeah, overall, where do you think the profession of pharmacy is heading towards?
Yeah, I mean, it's tough to say. It's I feel like a lot has happened, especially post-pandemic. I think people really saw the value that pharmacists have and the role they can play in healthcare during the pandemic when other healthcare providers were closed down. I think this expanded scope that's happened with minor ailment prescribing in Ontario is just only going to continue to grow. So I don't know, but I'm excited to see. And I also feel like AI and all the other technological advancements that are happening, it's interesting to see how some pharmacy software companies are already trying to integrate that into their systems. So I don't know. Hopefully more expanded scope and more technological innovation, but I'm excited to see.
Amazing. Yeah. Well, thank you so much for sharing your perspective and talking us through your experiences. It was a pleasure having you.
Thank you.